Hi, I'm Lage. My pronouns are she, her, and this is Sobot, where I talk about social sustainability. And today's topic is a bit different, but still within the field of social sustainability. It's more about taking responsibility. Generations all face generations all face different challenges, and I'm a part of the millennial generation, people born from beginning of 1980s until mid 90s. I'm from the mid 90s baby, yeah. Um, and I feel that especially my generation and the Gen Z generation preceding my generation, we have a very particular responsibility in terms of what kind of world we want to live in and how we're going to change the way that the world is right now so that the world can become a better place for everyone. And I see different aspects of this particular responsibility, and I'm going to cover my main thoughts and ideas on this in this video. Trauma travels from generation to generation. Now, I'm not a mental health expert, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not trained within this area, but I have been working on healing my own trauma for the past decade. And I have a lot of interest in this field. I read a lot about it. So please keep that in mind as you proceed watching this video. One of the greatest responsibilities of my generation and the generations preceding is healing intergenerational trauma, the trauma that has been passed on to us through generations. And there are, of course, different ways in dealing with this and in healing the traumas. Going to therapy is one of them. There are also other activities that we include in our daily lives that forge our journey of healing. And there's no one way of taking this journey. It's your journey to take, and how you take that journey is up to you. It's about finding what works for you and how to create a better life for yourself. I think it's necessary for us to come at peace with the past, and I am still personally working on this. Also, to get rid of the toxic behaviors that we expose ourselves to, and maybe we also expose the people closest to us to these toxic behaviors. And I could talk for a very long time about this. I'm not going to go that much into detail in this video. But if we do this work, if we create behaviors that are good towards ourselves and to the people around us, then we are actively improving our own lives and developing the world in a positive direction. There's a very close connection between ourselves and the world around us. And to me, this connection is very important, and it's very important that we take responsibility of how things are interconnected. So, one of the things that we can do in order to change our ways, to start our journey of healing, these are some things that I'm aware of in my own life. The first one is how we talk to ourselves. How does the voice inside of your head sound? What kinds of words is the voice using towards you? And then just become aware of it. That's the first step to changing it. Become aware of the words that the voice inside of your head are saying to you. Is the voice judging you? Is the voice criticizing you? And how can you change that voice inside of your head? Could you tell the voice, please stop talking to me in that way? Could you use kinder words? Make the voice use kinder words. I think you get the idea. And in the same way, if the voice is judging yourself, could you switch out the words that it uses so that it no longer judges you? Could you make it a compassionate and kind voice? And that is actually also, I think, very important when we talk about this massive but very important responsibility that we should take in order to create a better world for ourselves and for everyone else. So this responsibility involves being self-compassionate. Now, I think most of us find it very easy to be compassionate towards a friend or towards someone that is in need of compassion. But we also need to turn that compassion towards ourselves. Because the most important relationship that we have in our life is the one that we have with ourselves. And the relationship that we have with ourselves is going to shape the relationships that we have with other people. So if we have a healthy way of relating to ourselves, then we're also going to have way healthier ways of relating to other people. Now, the road to getting to that place is not going to be easy. It's going to be hard. And that is just a part of life. Life is suffering and struggling. But if we relate to ourselves compassionately in this journey, then we're making it easier for not only ourselves, but to the people around us. Now, self-compassion is a term defined by Dr. Kristin Neff, and I've read 2 of her books. I highly recommend them. And there are 3 pillars of self-compassion. So the first pillar is mindfulness. Mindfulness is about being aware. It's about being aware of the thoughts that pop into our head. It's about being present in this moment. And using that relieves actually some of the suffering that we experience as human beings. The other pillar is actually common humanity. It's the understanding that as human beings, suffering is a part of our lives. You are never alone in your hardships, because all people on this planet, in this universe, will experience suffering during their lifetime. The last of the 3 pillars is self-kindness. It's about switching those words that are judgmental, negative, and criticizing with a kind, supporting voice. So, for instance, instead of thinking that you are, I don't know, stupid or lazy or whatever thoughts that might pop into your head, try replacing it with a supporting voice. Try thinking about how would you address if your friend said out loud, "I'm stupid." How would you tell your friend? I would probably say something like, "No, you're not stupid. You are a human being and making mistakes is a part of life. Every person will experience this and you can learn and grow from making mistakes." And for me, that is actually a pretty good example because I have a massive fear of failure. So try replacing the words that are harsh with words that are kind. And there are all different activities to support a more self-compassionate lifestyle. And this video is not to say that you definitely need to include self-compassion in your daily life. It's just to say that we have a responsibility of breaking the cycle from the past, the cycle of trauma and violence and grief. Grief will always be a part of our lives, but it's all of these things that have traveled through our generations, and it also relates to power and privilege and discrimination. It's all connected, and that's also in the latest book of Dr. Kristen Neff, Fierce Self-Compassion. It takes this approach of combining social justice activism with self-compassion, and it's one of my favorite books of all times. I very, very much recommend reading it because as activists, it's even more important to have these self-compassionate strategies in our daily lives to manage with the unfairness of the systems and structures that we're a part of, and to have enough of the fierceness to fight against the unjust systems that we're a part of, and to change the world into a better place for all of us. Because we are all human and we all deserve to have good lives. So this is just some food for thought about if we're going to break these cycles, then we have to do the work. And it's hard work, but it's also worth it. If we do this work, then our lives will become better. And it's a long journey. I get that. I feel it. I feel it in my own body and mind, and I send all my love to you if you're on this journey as well. You are not alone. We are in this together. And breaking this cycle of these unfair systems and these intergenerational traumas, because they also have to do with classes and all of the other things that could cause us to face discrimination, or gender identity, or racial, ethnic background, or body types, or you name it. So I see this as a road to changing the systems. And we definitely need to have tools and strategies to care for and love ourselves in the same ways that we show compassion and empathy towards a close friend or another person in need of it. We need this, and it is going to get better, I promise you. Just keep your head up and keep working on it. I think this is even though it's a great responsibility and we have all these massive crises at once that we are facing right now, and all of us that are still sort of young, we're probably going to live on this planet for years to come. And we want it to be a better place for the generations that come after us. So this work simply needs to be done. And it's already in progress, and I have so much hope, and I have so much, I just love towards all of the people that, despite their struggles, they are facing everyday life and they are challenging the status quo. They're saying how their lives are and how they face discrimination, and it's just extremely powerful. That was it for me, a different approach to social sustainability, but it's just all connected. We cannot separate our mind and body from the rest of the world. It's part of it. And how we relate to ourselves and other people, it just makes such a big difference to the world. So thank you so much for watching, and please let me know in the comments if you are on this journey and if you have any tips for people reading on how to create the best possible lives for themselves, how to be healthy and have healthy relationships. It's a massive topic, I know, but I would love to hear your thoughts, and I will see you down there. I send you lots of peace and love.